You can't be mad at somebody by their own opinions about themselves and their experience. Maybe in that town of 500 that she live in, that's her experience. You're the prime example of what we be talking about when we say, just because you light-skinned don't mean you pretty.
Our moms and dads for not being light-skinned.
If you're ugly on the inside, that's not privilege. That's a curse.
A man should be so self-aware that when he looks at you, he knows that if he has any chance, he needs to financially match your face.
When it comes to black men, they don't care what your facial features look like.
And because of the color of my eyes, because of my hair texture, I get hated on. And because of the color of my eyes, because of my hair texture, I get hated on.
Now, while I do agree with some of what this lady said, you know, I was with you up until the last part, sis. Pretty privilege is real. Pretty punishment is real as well. However, since ain't nobody else gonna tell her, sis, you're the prime example of what we be talking about when we say, just because you light-skinned don't mean you pretty. Now, I could possibly look past your face if you were pretty on the inside. But sis, I want you to look in that mirror. And I want you to focus on the only thing that people compliment on. Your hair and your eyes. I ain't even got to go into detail. You get the picture. Sorry, Tamika.
Pretty privilege is real. It is. I said it's real. So because of the color of my skin, because of the color of my eyes, because of my hair texture, I get hated on.
You know something, my mom, I was really with you in the first half. You got me. You made me stay there in the first half. But then you start saying stuff like this. Oh, and I just want to remind you all to subscribe to my YouTube. The link is in my bio because TikTok is about to start going. And I actually do want to keep talking for y'all, so I would appreciate that. Thank you. Continue the video.
So I need you people who hate on people who are pretty to at least take into consideration that we're getting it out here. Like, we already getting it. We don't need it from you as well.
I was like, yes, this is a good thing. Like, she's aware. Whole time, you tricked me. Like, you trying to say that people hating on you because you are pretty. There are bad sides to being pretty. Do you know how self-centered you sound?
For real, like, give us a break. I mean, be mad at moms and dad. Huh? We didn't do it. We didn't ask to be put here to look like this, okay?
People really out here trying to rage bait, and it's just so hilarious to me. Blame our moms and dads for not being light-skinned and pretty and having light-colored eyes. Quote-unquote pretty.
Whatever we was mixed up with, it's here, and we didn't have anything to do with it.
He then goes on to give us a story time about how there were other people in the room, other women, and a man came and talked straight to her. He went to her and talked to her, and they were mad at her ever since then. So basically you're saying people that aren't pretty, i.e. darker skinned people, people that have brown eyes, and whatever, they're mad at you for being pretty, light-skinned, and having light eyes. She showed a picture of her before, and she was like a little chubbier, so I'm guessing that's where the wrinkles come from. But this is crazy, y'all. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I think where the lady messed up, she said because of my eyes, because of my skin. Like, that's colorism. And the world is somewhat colorist. But to point that out like that, it showed how low value you are. And people threw it in your face. I understand why they threw it in your face. What will make you think to get on a video and say that? I've said some questionable things in the past, but to say that is crazy. And people are going to see it as crazy. You have to look at the women who are responding to you. They're confident. They may not be the cat's meow, but they're confident. And they're not going to take that. And this is the thing. Because I saw a picture of her in the past. She actually was a looker. But you don't look like that now. And you know the wild thing is, she needed to understand she doesn't look like that now. And trust me, if you get on the internet and talk like this, she knows now. She took down her comments actually. She backtracked what she said, but because she actually was wrong. That definitely shouldn't have been said. And people let you know about it.
The elder lady got on here talking about she got pretty privileged and people hate her for it. I don't know if she just don't know how TikTok works, But anytime you get on here talking about you have pretty privilege and people who are hating you for it, people are going to commence to trying to do everything to find every inconsistency and every insecurity that you have to negate that statement. They are literally going to start picking you apart, such as they did with her. But really, they kind of got a good excuse, because this lady did sit up and say that she got hated on because of her green eyes and her curly hair and her light skin. I don't know if a lot of light-skinned women realize this. Not all, but some. A lot of us are not hating on you because of your light skin. We're hating on you because of your attitude behind the light skin, which is indicative of colorism. We dislike how a lot of y'all think that just because you have light skin, that makes you the prettiest thing walking, which everybody should have self-confidence. But when you start looking down on other people because they don't have light skin and you do, baby, that's colorism, and we hate that. All I'm saying is, if you're going to make egregious claims like that, just make sure the pretty is in the buildings. Just make sure the pretty's in the building with us. Make sure it's in the room. Because if it's not in the room and it's not in the building, the TikTok people are going to let you know it.
An MLS woman in her 50s who is being bullied on TikTok because she called herself pretty, and she does benefit from the isms. You know, she's one of those women where obviously she has the phenotype where she's not allowed to think she's pretty. And I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy, because a couple of weeks ago we saw an unambiguous dark-skinned black woman getting bullied, and thousands of black women were coming to defend her. This unambiguous one, she also had black reporters writing articles about how inspiring and empowering and confident she is. So I just wanted to point out the different responses, because in the black female community, they claim that, oh, all of us are united. It doesn't matter if you're light or dark. All of us are black. But when you actually look at how they treat women, depending on their phenotypes, it's completely different.
It's real. So because of the color of my skin, because of the color of my eyes, because of my hair.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen this video because people are stitching it. It's my understanding that people are eating her alive in the original video. I did see her original video, but I didn't look at the comments, and now I can't find the original. So I stitched somebody else's stitch. But I just wanted to address this lady and what she's saying here. So basically, it sounds like she believes that she has privilege because of the color of her skin, because she has light colored eyes and pretty curly hair. Well, as you can see, I am a fair-skinned black woman. I have green eyes that are sometimes blue, sometimes gray, because they change colors, and I have curly hair. Not as much as I did before chemo, but it's growing back. And so I've always been complimented since I was a child, all of my life, on my eyes, on my hair, and I just am appreciative of any compliment that I get, and I say thank you. But I just want to interject that I have children. I have a daughter who has brown eyes, who's always complimented on how beautiful her eyes are. It is not just light colored eyes that are beautiful. There are brown eyes that are beautiful. There are brown women who are beautiful. There are black women who are absolutely beautiful, who have beautiful hair and get complimented all the time. My focus is not on my outward appearance, and for the record, I am not mixed like the lady in the stitch. I am a black woman. My mother's black, my father's black, grandparents on both sides are black, great-grandparents black. I'm blackety black. But black people are versatile, and we've produced every color hair, every color skin, every color eyes. It came from us. So I'm grateful who God has created me to be, but my focus is not on my physical body, which is going to go back to the grave, turn to dust. That's not where my focus is. My focus is on the inward person, on the inside. I want to be beautiful from the inside out, because I don't care how pretty you are on the outside. If you're ugly on the inside, that's not privilege. That's a curse. Do I think that I'm beautiful? Absolutely. Why? Because everything God made is beautiful. And I'm not beautiful like you. I'm not comparing myself to you or to anyone else. I'm beautiful like me, as is every other man and woman. We are beautiful because we are we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And in conclusion, for the woman who made the original video, who thinks that she has privilege because of the way that she looks and is somehow basking in that, what I want her to know is that I could be her mother. I'm old enough to be your mother. For real. God is good. So I'm grateful for how I look on the outside, but I'm more grateful for who I am on the inside. Concentrate on that, people. What's inward, not outward.
I couldn't agree more.
To address what the elderly woman was talking about, I think her name was Tiffany Huber, but on her page it also says Tiffany's Journey. Number one, she used the wrong choice of words. That's number one. It's not pretty privilege she's talking about. It's prettyism or pretty punishment. Pretty privilege is positive, and then pretty punishment comes from the negative standpoint of being too pretty. Okay, so a lot of people were mad because she said things about men complimenting her on her complexion, her eyes, and her hair. I can almost 100% bet you guys that those guys were black. Let me explain the difference to you guys in being lighter skinned in the black community, the Hispanic community, and the Indian community. In the Hispanic community, a lot of you can believe that there's a lot of colorist things going on and stuff like that. I'm not saying that there's not. I've been through the most colorism situations with Puerto Ricans, right? But when it comes to other Spanish-speaking ethnicities, even if they do like lighter complexion better than darker, you still have to be pretty. You still have to have pretty features for them. Now, when it comes to Indian men, I'm talking about Indian men from India, and when it comes to Black American men, they don't care what your features look like, as long as you're lighter skinned. The way I get treated by Indian men is crazy. I'm not Indian, but they always think I'm Indian. And because I'm darker skinned, I'm not saying I'm dark skinned as in like the way a black person would be dark skinned, but I'm dark skinned compared to, Hispanics and Indians, even though we're the same complexion, they don't like it. Now, when it comes to black men, they don't care what your facial features look like, as long as you're really light skinned. So I believe
That's not true. That's not the truth with black men. Some black men are like that, but most would rather have someone like them. That's why a lot of men choose not to go to the Philippines. They'll rather go to Africa. They'll rather go to Brazil because they like black women. But let me let her continue.
that black men was telling her that. Is she pretty to me? Probably not. But to a black man, they see a lighter skin complexion, green eyes, and
No, you're missing the mark. She's talking about how she used to look. I saw a video of when she was a little chubby, like 20 years ago. She's actually a looker. She looks good. I gotta find that clip of her 20 years ago and her now, night and day. You're like, is that the same person? I think I have it in this video somewhere. Let me see.
softer hair that is softer than theirs. She's the most beautiful woman in the world to them. Let me give you guys a couple of examples. Okay, this was me when I was about 13. This is my boy best friend. Me and him are friends to this day, my guy best friend. But anyway, I wasn't pretty at all when I was younger. I was not pretty, but I was okay with it. I had to grow into my looks. So when I looked like this, I was ugly to other Hispanic people. I was ugly to other ethnicities, except for white boys, the little white boys like me. But I was ugly to Hispanics, right? I had so many Puerto Rican friends. When I looked like this, I had so many Puerto Rican friends because they didn't look at me as a threat. So I wasn't fighting that many Puerto Rican girls because they felt like, oh, she's not even cute, let's hang with her, we like her. But you know who I did have to fight? Listen, before you get offended, I was fighting black girls because in their mind, they thought because I was a lighter skin complexion and because I had a certain type of hair, they felt like, oh, you're automatically pretty, so now I want to fight you. So that's where this older woman is coming from when she says, oh, the other woman, right? They probably were black because in the black community, it's an automatic, oh, if you're lighter skin, you're
That is true. That's very true. That does happen. I grew up with that stigma, but I was so much of a dog. Anybody says something about me, I'll scrap with it. When I was younger, woo. I got in fights every day in elementary.
better. Okay, this is another picture of me from when I was 11 years old. Still, I never, at this age, I didn't think I was pretty and I was okay with that. I remember I had these two different friends. They both were black. Whenever we had like a disagreement, the first thing they would say was, "I'll cut your hair. I'll cut your hair." That's how long my hair was at the time. It's because in the black community, they
She was
believe lighter
cute.
complexion, hair, and lighter eyes is the best thing in the world. Now, if we go back to this picture, I like I said, I knew I was not attractive, and I was okay with that. I was fighting all the time. I made sure I hung with pretty girls because I knew other girls would hate on them, so it would give me a reason to fight. By the way, I still have a little bit of this in me. That's why I find it funny when that baby elephant commented on one of my posts asking me who am I hiding from. Like, girl, I will fuck you up. But anyways, now this was me a whole year later from the last picture I just showed you guys. When I started to look like this, I lost all of my Puerto Rican friends. None of my Puerto Rican friends wanted to hang with me anymore. You want to know why? Because they look more at facial features. They're like, oh no, she's starting to become pretty. We cannot hang with her. In fact, only one of them stayed close to me so she can continue to copy. But anyway, and I cannot believe this outfit. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, I was about 14 in that picture. And yeah, when I started to gain my looks, I started to have more problems. When I, like, with
That's how it
more
works.
so like the Hispanic community because they pay attention to facial features. Now back to the elderly woman with the pretty privilege. She's obviously around black guys that don't care about facial features, and that's exactly why her point of view was in logic. That's why it didn't make any sense with how she's looking and her age. And by the way, I don't agree with her still on that topic at her age. She's supposedly 50, but I felt like she was a little bit older than that. But anyway, what she is doing now, right now, you have people who are envious and jealous of people who are very beautiful. And right now, she's giving them a valid reason to hide behind with their jealousy.
Yeah. And that's what's happening. And what she has to understand, she opened it up. Lady, you do not look like how you used to look. You lost all that weight and you look like you're 70. I know you're in your 50s, but you look like you're in your 70s, going on 80. And look in the mirror and be realistic. Understand the pretty privilege you had back in the day, you don't have it no more. Nobody wants you.
So I guess a few days ago or a couple of days ago, however, some woman got on the internet and made a video talking about pretty privilege and how she's always had pretty privilege. She was a light-skinned woman, biracial, I'm assuming, you know, fair skin with light eyes and curly hair or whatever. And she was just talking about all the perks that she gets from looking the way that she looked. The internet dragged that woman and then turned it into like something racial and said it was colorism. That woman took all of those videos down and issued an apology. How in the entire hell are you all mad at somebody about how they feel about them and their own experience? Granted, the whole world disagreed with her, okay? The whole world disagreed. Y'all felt like she shouldn't have been saying that because she wasn't all that attractive or whatever, and she was just high yellow, yah. But that's her experience. The internet is full of people that want to have opinions. And so now you mad at somebody's opinion and their experience to the point where you didn't bully this woman to take a video down. If she, listen, I'm gonna tell you something, as a content creator that's monetized on all my platforms, I will cut them comments off and y'all can whoop-de-doo y'all asses right on to wherever you want to be and be on somebody else's hate train. I ain't taking no video down. If she is monetized and collecting money off of her content, she missed out on a big bag because those videos went viral. She could have treated herself to a spa day, all types of stuff. But y'all didn't bully that lady. Ma'am, I think her name is Teresa. Somebody said Tamika's Journey or something. I think my follower said that. Listen, you can't be mad at somebody by their own opinions about themselves and their experience. Maybe in that town of 500 that she live in, that's her experience. So granted, she don't live in a big city, so maybe it would have been something different. But y'all bullied this woman into taking her video down because of how she felt about herself and her experience and wherever she lived. She should have left that video up and she should have got her bag. Y'all done sat up there and bullied that woman out of her bag.
It's an evil world we live in. But hey, I'm gonna keep living.
That's not anyone's fault because nobody should be able to make you take a video down. But like she said though, turn the comments off and eat. That's what you should have done. You don't see anything, it doesn't bother you, no one can comment. The next video, turn them off. Next video, turn them off and eat. And treat yourself to a spa day. Exactly as she explained.
I told him that if he didn't propose to me by December 31st at 11:59, that I was gonna leave because I feel like I do all the wifey duties with no ring or no sign of commitment. We have 2 kids and I literally do everything, and after all of these years, I feel like he knows, he should know already if he wants to marry me or not.
First off, if you're gonna tell me you have by this date to marry you, you can leave. Because I am not gonna marry you when you tell me to marry you. I'm not running on your time to propose to you. And I'm gonna wait. And what's gonna happen?
You're not gonna propose.
If you leave, then you weren't meant for me.
He doesn't need ultimatums. He doesn't need empty threats. None of that. We all know today is December 31st. You're not going anywhere. January 1st, y'all still gonna be together. He's calling your bluff. That's why you never give ultimatums, because you know you're not really gonna leave this man. Not 1, but 2 kids together. Y'all been together for 9 years. You got a house together, all of this. The reason why he's not going to marry you is because he doesn't have to. You've given him everything. Like you said, I do all the wifely duties. You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing all these things. There is no incentive. This is what happens when you give boyfriends the wife package. They don't feel like they have to upgrade. Now, I will give him a little bit of grace, both of you, because y'all got together when you were 13 years old, had your first child at 15 years old. Like, you guys, you were really young, and you're still really young. You're about to be 22. But I feel like there's a part of him that might feel like there's something else out there. He hasn't dated enough women to know what he really wants. I feel like he thinks he has plenty of time because y'all are still young. But that's the difference between sometimes men and women. A woman can meet the love of her life in kindergarten and be all about that man all her life. But for men, especially these days with everything available on social media, how easy it is to meet women and see women, some men feel like they have time because they've never had more options. And no matter how amazing you are to that man, some of them are still on the lookout for that bigger, better deal. If you ever give a man an ultimatum, you better.
But like she said, when she gave him an ultimatum, it was put up or shut up. If you're not ready to really leave him, just keep your mouth closed. Right? I mean, the guy's been with you, how he sees it. He's probably not even looking at the marriage rates of what's going on now because he's so young. You know, it'll take an elder, maybe someone that's married, to talk to him and give him some coaching, because he does, I believe, 2 children, right? He has 2 children with you. He does need to make you an honest woman. And I get it. That's what you're trying to do. But doing it that way, it's going to push you away, make you guys split up. Then you're trying to get child support out of him. And he's probably, who knows? He's probably not working. I don't know. I don't understand your situation. But you don't want those headaches.
A man should be so self-aware that when he looks at you, he knows that if he has any chance, he needs to financially match your face. Like it's not even an option. You're too pretty.
Pretty don't come with no price tag, sis. Because if it did, some of y'all would ring up at 99 cents and still be asking for designer treatment. Honestly, y'all owe us a refund.
Go out to the bar and you see somebody you like, and then you just go, hey.
Okay, so a lot of people are asking for a story time on who's responsible for my diagnoses. If you don't know, I am 22 years old. I was diagnosed with HIV in August of 2023 at 21 years old. I'm gonna get into it with y'all. So I was 21. It was March of 2023 when I got my last STI and HIV test, and that was negative. I had just turned 21. I was outside. I was doing my thing. No shame. It is what it is. But anyways, there's 3 people that I needed to tell from March to my diagnoses in August, and I'm gonna get into each of the people. Okay, so the first person we're gonna go back to, but the first person I met in April, and I had seen him probably once, twice a week, every week for maybe, let's say 2 months. So April, May, June, right? Okay. So the first person I had met in April, and I had been sleeping with him on and off, like just as a situationship from April to May and June, right? We'll call him Tom. And then I had met someone and like we were more serious. I was with him from June to July, but it didn't last long due to just like issues. And the third person that I needed to tell, I had been with him from July to when I had been diagnosed in August. So we'll call them 1, 2, and 3 in this scenario. So keep in mind the first person I had been with.
I'm going to stop it right there. The youth, she said she was 22 years old. This disease has been taking the youth. I mean, nowadays they have it set with medicines to where you can live a long time if you catch it in time. But it's a sad situation what's happening in our society. You know, it's spreading around like the vid. Seriously. Like when you go and get the shot for the vid, it's like that with this. And it's gotten to the point where so many people are living with it, but it's scary. We live in scary times. So if you're a young man out there and you're watching this video, don't matter where you're going, don't matter if you come across these waters, wrap it up. Please wrap it up. No matter if you see a girl, she's fine. You coming out to the Philippines, see a fine Filipina, going to Thailand, see a fine Thai girl, going to Africa, wherever you're going. Germany, they got it out there too, everywhere. Wrap it up, because you never know who you're dealing with, what you're dealing with, or if you're a person that wants to go raw, go get checked up together. Seriously. Get together, say, you know what? I like you. Let's go down to the testing office, get checked up, because I want to have relations with you, especially if you can see yourself putting a baby in her. Definitely get checked up. Be safe out there. But guys, thank y'all for watching. Other than that, peace out. See you next video.